Hello, Toads and Toadettes. Today is March 10th, and you know what March 10th is? It's National Pack Your Own Lunch Day, and, well, it's also Mario Day, too. But how about we talk about the latter, since I think I know more about Mario than packing my own lunch. And another thing I know is that Super Mario is probably the most iconic gaming franchise, and made Nintendo into what they are today. So let's see what Nintendo is doing to celebrate the Red Plumber. And they're doing an eShop sale on Mario games. Well, that's interesting. But, I mean, despite its underwhelming presence, it's still a good time to pick up some Mario games before the sale ends. So how about I tell you my top 5 Mario games on Nintendo Switch to help you out. And 5th is Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which only beat Super Mario Maker 2 for me because of how underappreciated this game is. This one is pretty cheap regardless of a sale or not. I think it's around like the $20-ish mark, somewhere around there, which is a steal. That is a very good price. It's a turn-based RPG/adventure game, and it's, fun fact, not even developed by Nintendo, but instead by Ubisoft. A tiny spoiler warning before I go ahead. Alright, it starts off with a person designing a VR headset that can merge two things together. Eventually, Rabbids come through their washing machine, and one Rabbid gets a hold of this headset. He basically is the reason why there is the Mario versions of Rabbids, and also why this game is taking place, as he created the glitch universe area, whatever it's called. And then one day during a ceremony of some sorts, I don't really know whatever this is in the background here, that Mario and friends are at. And basically they all get sucked in to that glitch universe that I was talking about, and they meet a robot named Beepo, and start their journey to save the headset Rabbid from Bowser Jr., who wants to like take over the Mushroom Kingdom using this Rabbid's merge headset thingy. It's a kind of random story, but like it somehow fits in perfectly, and yeah. Now let's get to the gameplay. There are 4 worlds, each with a mini-boss and a big boss. Once you're in a level, you are free to explore a more linear area. It's not open, like, at all, basically, until you reach a battlefield, which you are then forced to fight to progress. You can bring 4 characters into a battle, but you start with 3, being Mario, Rabbid Peach. You unlock Luigi once you beat the first mini-boss. And each character has their own weapons and sub-weapons, which all have their own special abilities that activate by chance. Once you're in a battle, you select to move and attack with a character. You can do both once with each character. After you go, it's the enemy Rabbid's turn, which is practically identical to yours, but they're trying to hurt you instead of you trying to hurt them. And that's basically battles in a nutshell. Obviously, they get way more in depth once you unlock like little extras for your characters, like jumping off your teammates' heads or kicking. And also, there is a Donkey Kong Adventure DLC for this game, which is also really good. I think that one's around $15-ish, but I remember that went on sale during E3. That's when I got it, a few E3 those. And the Donkey Kong DLC is really good. It's almost as long as the actual game, which is crazy, and it was really fun. And basically, overall, this game was a real oddball, but a real good oddball. Luigi takes the spotlight in Luigi's Mansion 3, which currently is on sale for $40, instead of its original price of $60, which is $20 off. $40 is a real good price for this game. Obviously it's way more expensive than Mario Rabbids, as I think Mario Rabbids was $10 right now, but still, this game does have more replayability, at least from my opinion. And yeah, so Luigi's Mansion 3 is an action-adventure game that sees you traversing your way up like 17 or 18 hotel floors full of puzzles and ghosts and a new friend called Luigi. What's funny is that he's like the gimmick, the new thing about this game, but he was actually in the Luigi's Mansion remake on 3DS as player 2. So, that was a year before this game, so he's not making his debut with Luigi's Mansion 3, he's just returning with a more important role, as he's essential in completing a lot of the puzzles in this game. Just a summary of the intro if you want to hear this, even though barely anything spoiled. Now let's go ahead. Luigi and his homies are going on vacation. Hotel he gets to is shady. Oh no, eventually when he gets escorted to his room by this lady, I think called Helen or something like that. Oh no, King Boo. Luigi runs and finds Professor Egad and Luigi, and now he has to save his homies, Mario, Peach, Toads, Egad, and defeat King Boo to, I guess, uncurse this. I think it's like curse the hotel or something like that. But yeah, this game, it's like for the gameplay now. The game is mainly based around two things, and that's puzzle solving, which is a big thing of Luigi Mansion as a series. The puzzles in this game are, from what I played, I thought they were creative. They weren't necessarily extremely hard puzzles, but they were decently challenging puzzles. And the other big part of Luigi's Mansion, which is probably the more bigger part, I guess, is the ghost busting. So ghosts having their own unique traits and ways of attacking and being sucked up. It was real fun, just beating up ghosts in this game. It wasn't really tedious. I mean, it's not really tedious in any of the games. They're usually enjoyable. All of the games. Yeah, back to the topic of the floors that I was talking about earlier, the 17 floors. Once you're trying to get to a new floor to try to reach the top, you will have to fight a boss ghost, and the floors are themed around different topics like Egypt or like a movie set, and that's usually what the boss ends up being based around, and the fight. Like there was this cool Godzilla one, and it was really cool. It's the little small things like that makes this game real special. And besides that, that's basically the formula for this game. The controls are good, and oh wait, I can't talk about Luigi's Mansion without mentioning Scare Scraper. For those of you who don't know what Scare Scraper is, you and 3 other green boys, or actually orange, pink, and blue boys, tackle on either a set amount of ghost coins or crows in a certain amount of time, which takes place in a floor of a skyscraper. There's also Scream Park, which is unique to this game, but that's only fun the first time you play it. But what's also cool about these extra modes are if you buy the DLC, which I think is like $15 for all of it, or it's maybe cheaper, you can customize how Luigi looks and also customize the Florian, which is really cool. But I need to shut up talking about Luigi's Mansion 3 and move on to the third pick. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Mario doesn't say Deluxe. Okay, this game's taking third place. It's on sale right now for $40 instead of its original price of $60. And as we all know, it's a racing game and where you drift and throw items to hurt others or maybe help you gain an advantage. If you're looking for a more replayable game, then I say this is probably your best bet, as it's practically like never ending. People could probably be playing this game for the next 20 years, who really knows. And it's not a new game, it's a port of a port of a Wii U game. Mario Kart 8, obviously, and this one has the usual Grand Prix tracks with new ones and remastered ones. All the new ones are pretty solid. The Rainbow Road is kind of questionable in this game. The remastered tracks, I really like the remastered ones in this game. The ones they chose, I feel, all felt like they really just fell in place real good. Like there wasn't really one. Cheese Land, that's all I have to say. I hate Cheese Land. That's one I'll never get over. If that's coming in the next game, I don't know. I guess I have to deal with that. But moving on, this game also has a versus battle, which is basically where you make the rules. Time trials, which you guessed it, you're alone and trying to improve your time on a track, which is cool. It's good if you're like to do stuff over and over again. And this game actually has a good battle mode this time. Yay! Mario Kart 8 and the Wii U's battle mode was trash. You used normal tracks. It was super hard to find people. But this game actually has its own battle tracks, and they're cool. Like Urchin Underpass, I'm pretty sure it was called. The Splatoon one. That one is sick. But yeah, let's get to the battle modes now. So one is Balloon Battle, which you are trying to pop other people's balloons. while you're trying to get your ears not popped. Renegade Roundup is basically cops and robbers, and is my personal favorite. I don't know, for some reason it's just a bunch of fun. Running around, trying not to get eaten by a piranha plant and sent to jail. Shine Thief, which is a stupid piece of shine. Nothing else to say about that one. The Bomb Blast, which is you blowing up other people, nice. And Coin Runners, which is self-explanatory, you just get coins. All these modes, excluding Grand Prix, are playable online, which is where this game honestly gets really fun. Lots of time I spent playing online. And besides that, the only thing left to discuss is the character roster, which has its good ones and the ones that honestly feel filler. But we all know everyone plays as the Wah! There's also DLC, which adds some remastered tracks and some from Mario Kart Tour, and that's $25. And they're going to be released in 6 different waves to the course of the end of 2023. And despite this game getting really stale for those who played Mario Kart 8 all those years back, it's still really awesome to try out, and it's a game that I'm playing still to this day. And second is Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, which could honestly beat the first pick, just not for me. It really depends if you're more of a multiplayer guy, because this is more multiplayer based than the first pick. So obviously all these games really depend on what your personal preferences are. But yeah, for me, in my opinion, this is my second best Mario game to pick up during a sale on the Switch. And speaking of a sale, it's on sale for $40 instead of $60, which is what most of these games are like on sale for. And 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is a 3D platformer and is a port of 3D World, Super Mario 3D World from the Wii U. They just added some new stuff to that, and also obviously added, like, I kind of count it as like the new Super Luigi U of this game, Bowser's Fury. And Bowser's Fury was awesome, super refreshing to play when it came out. That was a ton of fun. But let's get to the 3D World portion of this game before I get to the Bowser's Fury one. I'm not going to go over the story, as there is barely any in 3D World and Bowser's Fury. But yeah, in 3D World, you choose a character. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Rosalina is unlocked in the bonus worlds. And obviously if you're playing multiplayer, it's only up to 4 players, even though yes, there's 5 characters. And then you can progress by completing more linear levels. They're not open, not really, compared to previous Mario titles. But besides 3D Land, obviously. So it's basically like 2D Mario linear level design with a 3D Mario physics and gameplay. Obviously, at the end of each world, there's a boss level that is what you need to beat to progress to the next one. And speaking of worlds, there are 8 worlds and 4 bonus worlds. All these levels are can be played with friends, family, multiplayer, basically. Even the Captain Toad ones, which were previously only single player in the Wii U version, which is cool. For additions, online, yes, online is here. You can now make a room and hook up with your homies and play some 3D World. Yeah, that's cool though. I think it's the only mainline Mario that you can play online, which is interesting, but that was a fun addition. And just, that was more of like a short summary of 3D World, as I want to move on to Bowser's Fury part. But obviously 3D World is way more than just what I said. Alright, Bowser's Fury has the same physics and controls as 3D World, but it's completely open world, which was super cool and unique. Like, when I'm talking open world, it was very open world. Now your mission is to collect cat shines to save Bowser from his emo disease. The areas were honestly really fun to traverse, and they changed sometimes depending on what cat shine you were going for. Like, maybe a button would appear that would spawn a bunch of blocks, and you have to complete that challenge in like 20 seconds. This side game is not online though, you can't play this online, but it does have local 2-player. I have so much more to say about these 2 games, but I have to move on to the most anticipated first pick. And here we are to my number 1 Mario game for the Nintendo Switch. And that is Super Mario Party, of course. This game is just too much for me to talk about. The boards and the mini games are just so creative. Okay, yeah, you thought. Because the real first pick is Super Mario Odyssey. It is sadly not on sale right now, but I still strongly believe this game is worth the $60. If this was on sale, wow, that would honestly be crazy. Mario Odyssey is also a 3D platformer, which has you exploring 15 kingdoms and 3 bonus ones. A small spoiler warning before I go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Once upon a time, Mario was getting his butt whooped by Bowser because Bowser wants to marry Peach. And during the whooping, Mario's hat got shredded and a ghost named Cappy found it. Once Mario got knocked out, he landed in the Cap Kingdom and met Cappy to start their journey to save Peach from Bowser. The end of the prologue. This game controls are reminiscent of 3D World, but are way better. This is hands down the best Mario game when it comes to controls. It's so satisfying. Well, okay, let's move on. The new gimmick in this game is Cappy, which can be thrown to possess, or as they like to call it, capture enemies, which allows you to control them, which is sick. This is one of the coolest gimmicks in Mario history. It is so cool just being able to control every Mario enemy. It's, I don't know, something about it, I like it way too much. In each kingdom, there is a good amount of moons for you to collect, which are basically stars or shines from previous titles. They're just called moons in this game. And they're also way less valuable. I feel like in previous games, it was like, yes, I got a star, or yes, I got a shine. In this game, the moons kind of have way less value, but still, does not mean it's not cool to go around collecting moons. And once you have collected a certain amount of moons, you can head to the next kingdom, which also these kingdoms are very open and were tons of fun to explore. There is also local co-op, 2-player co-op, but it's pretty trash as player 2 controls Cappy while player 1 is Mario, which doesn't really work out that well. It's kind of awkward, to be honest. And, oh yes, we cannot forget how snazzy Mario can look in this game, because throughout the game, you collect coins and purple coins, which each kingdom has their own purple coins. But basically, you can use those currencies to purchase clothes and hats for Mario, which makes the game a whole lot cooler. It's just really cool. Like, for example, Mario and like underwear, and that was a surprise, but it was really cool. Just something about customizing I like about in games. It's fun to do it. And more for customization is how you can customize the Odyssey with stickers and collectibles, which the Odyssey is the thing like the ship you and Mario are in when going to different kingdoms. That's why the game's called Super Mario Odyssey. But yeah, the customization in this game is awesome. I love it. And the only last thing to talk about is Luigi's Balloon World, where you can hide a balloon in a kingdom or hunt for others' balloons to gain coins. I find it honestly the best way to grind coins. It's also fun, as well as kind of random, but still doesn't mean it's not fun. And overall, this game is awesome and is still one of my top favorite games to this day. And there you have it. I hope this helped you make a decision on what Mario game you are going to purchase during the sale. And there's a lot of other Mario games that are on sale, like for example Yoshi's Crafted World. I feel is a very underrated one, and maybe that's a game that maybe you're more into. So yes, before you make this decision based on this video, if you are, make sure to look at the other Mario games, because maybe that might be one that you want to pick up. But yes, this was my top 5 Mario games on the Switch. And obviously, we all would have preferred something big for Mario Day, but Nintendo is Nintendo. And for now, we will just have to wait for a big announcement. Well, I'm going to go play some Mario games, so I hope to see you in the next one.